Hey, it's Martin from McMaster Pokemon Draft League, and we're looking to start a weekly podcast. And what better way to start it out than to rate everyone's team? We're going to do it conference by conference. We're going to start with yours truly, Conference B. And I'm joined with three other people. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hey guys, so it's Aabrar, the Dark Angel, correct 1026. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I played a lot of OU, a lot of Gen 7, as many people would know I tell them to play. Let's see what else I should say. Favorite Pokemon is Tapu Koko. I didn't get it this season because of some people. But yeah,
Got it sniped.
that's me.
Yeah. Hi guys. I'm Albert Dondi. I play a lot of OU as well because I hate myself. Favorite Pokemon is Genesect, and yeah, that's about it really.
Hey, I'm Steve. I'm the true Aqua admin of this league because I love myself some water types. I love myself some Swampert and some Tapu Bulu, which I got myself a Tapu Bulu this league. And I love myself some PU because I'm not trash. Yeah.
True.
My tier, that's my home. I love it.
Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about everyone's team and then give it a letter grade. And we're just going to go in order. So let's start with the first overall pick is actually Suicune to annoy Julian. What do you guys think of Geoff's team?
Oh.
Well, since this is a rain team, we can start with Steve talking about.
Yo,
what do you think of the rain
listen. Don't you get me started.
That was a fire wheel pick. He got Pelipper and Kingdra on the wheel.
Yo, that was legit, man. Pelipper, like Kingdra and Coco together, they're so good. Like that's actually such like a fire, and like think like especially Suicune and Rain, I think that might be good. But,
It's definitely been unexplored.
yeah, like I think it'd be
As a
good.
guy that spams Coco myself a lot, Coco really appreciates something else that breaks grass types for him. Like commonly in OU, you see it run with Hawlucha and Rain to break things like Tangrowth, Ferrothorn. I don't really see anything on his team that does that. Maybe Specs Pelipper with Hurricane. He also has a really big weakness to electric types. He doesn't have like an immunity except like Lantern. And
It's
like
not his
Sceptile
immunity.
is like a quad resist to electric. Suicune in the rain, I'm not too sure how to feel about it because it stalls out your rain.
Yeah, we really have to find out like what it's like for.
Like I genuinely feel he picks Suicune just to annoy Julian, right? So like it doesn't really fit in his composition. The rest of his team, like minus Suicune, looks pretty good. Personally, it's like a standard rain team.
I just wanted to point something out. Like, I'm not sure how I feel of, like, 3 bulky water types. I'm not sure why he has Suicune, Pelipper, and Lantern. I feel like that's a bit overkill.
Yeah, it really is, though. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
Good to have, like, a mix of, like, different things. If he had, like, for example, Swampert, it's a great fit on rain teams, then he'd be absolutely set for...
Right.
Yeah, I was like just having that electric immunity in general is just so good for his team. Like,
Also,
he
gives him
doesn't
another
have
way to
Lantern,
set up
but like
hazards,
it's
too.
not,
He does have Lightning Rod, Mega Sceptile as
On
well.
Sceptile,
yeah, like, they're pretty much pseudo ground like, immunities, right?
Yeah.
And just like having Swampert in general, like or even just any ground type is good for his team.
Yeah. Just something like Tangrowth runs through his team right now.
Anyway, what do you guys think you'd give?
Give it a
I'd give him like a B.
B minus.
B minus?
Are we doing minuses or like none of that?
Yeah,
Good,
I would personally give him a C plus because there are very concrete ideas behind this draft. So like there is a good idea, but there's also very crippling flaws with the team that could lead to its downfall. Like there's a lack of synergy I see. Like the Manti synergy with Suicune being tending to stay in and be fat, and the team really struggling to break what Rain is weak to, which is grass types.
Well, he has Far-Fetched.
Geoff is my student, so he's trying to be me. So.
I mean, I think that pretty much sums up Geoff's analysis for his team.
So
yeah, checks out.
We have Ethan next, and he has a very controversial first pick, Tapu Lele, and then he just decided to like 1-2 punch with Alakazam Mega. Like, it's crazy. And then he himself said that maybe he didn't need Ninetales or Alolan, but just those three in general, just they're so annoying to plan against.
So going on that conference, yeah.
Like, I feel like the hidden MVP of this team is actually Hawlucha. Actually, I don't know if that's hidden, but like, it's definitely one of the big MVPs of this draft. Because you combine that with Psychic Seed and an Aurora Veil, it's going to be setting up on everything. It's got SD, Bulk Up, Substitute, Drain Punch, Acrobatics. That thing can run through an entire team like super easily.
Seems really good.
Yeah, personally, like in OU, there has been a lot of Fairy and Psychic spam. Usually Lele is paired with things like Diancie, it's paired with Gallade, and it's also actually paired with Alakazam. From what I've seen from this team, there's a lot of OU cores that I see, like Lele plus Alakazam. There's also Terrain plus Hawlucha, which is a very notorious core in OU. Usually run with Coco Hawlucha, but Lele Hawlucha will probably be very effective as well. There's very nice offensive synergy between a Psychic type in Lele and a Fighting type in Hawlucha, as they can break each other's weaknesses. The Veil is really nice for Metagross, Hawlucha. We could expect maybe Agility Metagross behind a Veil.
Like the Gen 4 set, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
I don't know how like his lower tiers will do.
Sorry?
I said I don't know how his lower tiers will do though, because like.
Yeah, you're right.
Barrel, like Mother.
Yeah. But like Electros is always kind of safe, right?
I think Archeops is good. It's a good suicide lead for his team, which is pretty offensive.
Yeah, he does have a suicide lead in Archeops.
And like
it's really good speed tier against Rocks and Endeavor.
Because like especially with Archeops, if you won't be able to get hit with priority Archeops, like to keep it like within range of its defeatist, be able to assert dominance with head smash.
Unless you miss them. Playoffs.
It actually can be hit by priority because it isn't actually touching the terrain.
Yeah. You may never lie.
And I wanted to say, like, I think Hawlucha might go down as like maybe the most value mon because it's B+.
Yeah, that's
and I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be considered similar to like Breloom was last season, where it was just like, why was it B+? But on that note, I think we should give it a letter grade. What do you guys think?
I say A, not A+, because there are weaknesses, but I say
I would say A as well.
I think while this team has really powerful strength and it's really good at abusing its strengths, the team does have some crippling weaknesses. For example, if anyone takes a Scarf Ghost type, it will absolutely run through Ethan's traps.
Real talk though, Bibarel will destroy
A skilled B-Barrel.
My father,
a skilled B-Barrel can kill any Psychic spam team.
It does have crippling weaknesses.
Barrel's my
We'll be back to giving it an A grade. I would give it like B+ or A-. It's very powerful, but it has crippling weaknesses that can be exploited.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I get that.
All right. Next we have my team, which I just want to say, being right before Julian, I felt like it was my destiny to take Suicune, but I had to go with Zapdos instead. And I just kind of tried to go for a stall team, but I guess Sharpedo and Crook, they kind of overlap a little bit, and I'm missing a special wall breaker, so I'm not really sure about my team. What do you guys think about it?
I love Sharpedo that it's like pretty much the Aqua team like
mascot.
So it's like, relatable. He got Flash, so we're like brothers now.
Yeah. So when I was there at draft and I saw Zapdos and Skarmory as the first two picks, the first thing I thought of was, the next pick is going to be Chansey. Like, I saw hard stall coming. You had double defog.
Team is so
That's
good.
a fantastic core.
I was always planning to get Chansey, but I just noticed from last draft, like, it didn't seem like a high priority mon. Like, I get it a little bit later. And also, even if Chansey goes, I could still back up with Blissey. So, like, I didn't need to take it right away.
Yeah, I get that.
But, there's also some nice dark spam with Crocodile Sharpedo.
I really like that. It feels like
that's cool.
It's like a stall core that's wearing down the teams enough for your two dark types to clean up, if that makes sense.
I mean, there was Pheromosa stall back in the day when Pheromosa was legal. It was literally just stall, but Pheromosa slapped on the clean at the end. it can work. So it also has a lot of nice resistances with Amoonguss. Amoonguss is a really nice glue on to this team, giving a really good fighting resist and an electric resist.
Interesting.
So I think that's really nice.
I was actually most considering trading that Mon in, but I think it's a really good Mon for just straight up B for 55 points. I think that's a good option.
Yeah. So if we were to give this a letter grade, what do you guys think?
Say B+. B+? In my opinion. Yeah.
On the same as like Ethan's?
I gave Ethan an A.
Oh, true, yeah.
I think Ethan's is really, really good.
Yeah.
I like Martin's too. Like, I get what he's going for. And I think it is succeeding in what it's doing.
Yeah. Martin's team, I'm kind of unsure about. Because it's like, it has some elements of hard stall, but it has some elements of hyper offense. I don't know how they'll mesh together. Zapdos is probably the key mon to his team because it can work either as a very offensive agility Z move mon if he chooses for that, or it can be very bulky defensive Zapdos, which just walls and slowly wears you down. So I think this team is only going to be as good as Martin's creativity. I'm going to give it like a B or a B+. I'm kind of unsure about how to rate it. I think I'll actually refrain from giving it a letter grade. I'm not too sure myself.
All right. Next we have Julian, and when Suicune got sniped, he went with Tangrowth instead and Keldeo. I like this team a lot, actually. I think it has a lot of threats, a lot of good bulky mons, and this is one of my favorites, I think.
Okay, so I've played versus it. I played it yesterday. I beat it. Just want to put that out there. But it was a real pain in the ass to play versus. Like the combination of Keldeo, Zerk, and Mimikyu just kind of breaks through everything. And it's even Aggron. I don't believe in Aggron, but it's actually a really good mon for a lot of things. And he's got that good type synergy going on. And Tangrowth and Manabuzz basically wall each other's threats. So I really like that as well. Yeah, go on.
From what I can see, he has a lot of bulky stuff. And if anything does happen to get out of hand, what's really nice is he has Aggron and Mimikyu to check setup, depending on what the setup is. Especially Mimikyu. Mimikyu is notorious in OU for being a really offensive way to deal with setup sweepers because of the ability to disguise.
That's why it's like a must-have in Aabrar offense now.
Yeah. And like Xerkatry is a mon that's been dropped twice in the past 2 seasons, but Julian has showed that there's a lot of Z-move potential in this mon, and it's very unpredictable to know which Z-move set it's going to run against you. So overall, I see a nice blend of offense and defense. A threat I could see to his team would be any strong fire type, because Keldeo is a shaky fire resist, which will go down after one or switching in.
The big one I see is Alola Marowak, because it pretty much hardwalls Xerkatry and destroys Tangrowth, and can pressure Manabuzz with Stab Flare Blitz.
Yeah. Overall, I'd give this team like a B plus, maybe a B. It's good, but it's not like stellar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got weaknesses.
I think any team with Aggron Mega, it won't blow you away because like usually your Mega is supposed to be like an all-star.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep on that, man.
I'm not saying it's a bad mon, but it's just like it's not going to be a flashy mon, and just I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah, the big thing is the lack of a strong fire resist. If he had that, this team, like Aggron, would be really well protected, and it could function as very.
You want to know about fire resist though?
So I give this about a B. Yeah, like a B.
Yeah.
We got Keldeo though. He's good.
Keldeo is a cool mon.
I think Manabuzz can maybe handle some fire types too, but
Manabuzz is good. Like it's such a great default.
So Aabrar, you said A, or sorry, what did you say? B?
I said B for this.
And what about you?
I would say like B plus.
I agree. B.
Okay.
Like the conference, B.
I'd say either like B plus or A minus because his team is like I find that it does have the good synergy with it with like Tangrowth, Keldeo, Xerkatry, and whatnot.
Right.
I find like his lower tiers could definitely use some work. So like, I can understand B, but for me at least a B plus. Definitely.
I'm assuming Regigigas was a meme pick.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Okay, next we have Matt E, which is I just realized something. Him and his brother are in the same conference, and he hasn't drafted in a while. And wow, Mew and Ferrothorn, those are two of the most annoying mons to play against. And
Yeah.
Latias
Okay,
M has been proven to be really good lately too, and Mantine. I like this team a lot. What do you guys
That's
think?
I like it
fine.
too.
I do too.
It's just weird because like Megaladios wasn't drafted, but Megaladios was by me, of course. But like this was the first season that Megaladios was drafted in both conferences,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be really interesting to see both being used.
Well,
Like, yeah, I find like Megaladios is like better than Megaladios in OU anyway.
I think so.
I have a bad
In
habit of just
draft, it's
lumping
gonna be
both
so
of them.
fun to see it used.
I have a
Like,
bad habit of just lumping both of them like together in my brain.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
like it's
yeah.
like both of them are kind of really
So
similar.
if there's one word I could use to describe this team, it would be backbone. Like defensively, this team is so sound. Like there's a lot of recovery between Mew, Latias, Mantine.
Yeah.
And Ferrothorn was Leech Seed.
I
Ferrothorn
find
would be
like
yeah.
Maddie is like for him battling in season 5, he was a very big Mega Slowbro, Chestnut, Mandibuzz, all that, and it's
Like a
definitely
semi-stealth
shows now. In like it definitely shows now Mew and Ferrothorn and Mantine and Hypnotop, all that, and like he was a good player, so like I can definitely see him working this team well.
Yeah,
I
another
love
really
his
clean
team.
thing about his team. Yeah, he also has really clean type cores. He has Fire, Water, Grass with Entei, Mantine, and Ferrothorn, and he has like a very strong Steel and Dragon put together.
Yeah,
he is lacking a Fairy type, and I
no
feel like
fairy.
having a good Fairy type or a Fairy type in general is really essential in draft because Dragon is a very dangerous offensive type.
Yeah, definitely.
But he has the tools to deal with Dragon types. And
Definitely.
his Dodrio is a pretty good low tier pick, and it gives him a good
Dodrio's
flying offensive type
fantastic.
mon.
Yeah, it's pretty good for like what, C tier, D tier.
Yeah.
One mon I want to talk about is Entei because I don't think it's ever been picked
I was
before.
about to bring Entei up. Weren't you talking crap on it on
No.
draft day, Albert?
I
I know
was-
someone was.
No,
Like,
I wasn't shit talking Entei.
a lot of people were talking bad on Entei, and I think it's an incredible mon.
Amazing, dude.
Entei is amazing. I'm very surprised it wasn't drafted.
I'm calling Lucas out. It was Lucas. He was saying Arcanine's a better mon, which I don't think I agree with because they're completely different. But yeah, Entei is amazing, and I love Entei.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see if it can put in work, especially
By the way, Entei has base 115 health.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's bulky.
Wild, dude.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to see on this team is wish support because I feel like stuff like Ferrothorn especially and Latias.
Doesn't Latias get wish?
Does it?
It does good wish. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It does.
Holy shit.
But
I mean, I should have said that in front of
leftovers.
Albert, but like, I mean, checks out, I suppose.
I'm not a big fan of wish.
Albert, don't worry about it.
And wish with no leftovers, I feel like, is not a good idea.
That is true.
But
not as
don't worry
all right.
about it.
So, any letter? Does anyone have a letter grade for this team?
I'd say A minus actually. It's got a lot of really good stuff.
I'll give it the same A minus as well.
Like the one thing holding it back from like A tier is the fact that it does not. I feel like that's very important in draft.
It does have what? Sorry, you cut out.
No fairy type.
Right.
I would give
I would
it.
say like at like the lowest, definitely B minus. I mean, sorry, B plus.
Yeah, it's like B plus A minus level.
What Aabrar, what do you think?
I'm leaning I'm in between B plus and A minus. I would give it a B plus because he is also lacking speed control. Like all his speed tiers are kind of very close together, or they're very slow. So he's lacking that extra speed control. But otherwise, I think it's a pretty sound draft.
Yeah.
I would,
like his speed,
I'm really stuck
he has
between
good
B plus and A minus.
tiers, but
yeah, he has a lot of good speed tiers.
it's
but
one of the best like speed averages in the league. But
doesn't have anything like above that, you know.
I definitely
like it's kind of one of those things like if you have something over 110, anything for that, right?
All right.
It's just that he doesn't have a good Scarfer.
I want to move on to the next team, but I just wanted to point out, like, it's interesting he has Raichu instead of Raichu and Alolan. Like, I'm not too familiar with Raichu in general.
Like, regular Raichu is decent.
Yeah.
Maybe he drafted it for Lightning Rod.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
There could be a reason for like Manton.
might just because
He doesn't have a ground type. So
Right.
like,
yeah, might just because Raichu is cheaper than
same thing as
Raichu.
Ultium, for example. It's a good reason to draft it because you'll be able to get the health back and then
All right.
just be able to get some health back.
Wow, Alexa actually has an incredible team as well. Like, I like Starmie and Tyranitar together a lot. What do you guys think?
I like Zygarde. That's my favorite mon. Well, one of my
Right,
favorite
that's
mons.
and Mamoswine. Who could forget Mamoswine? Where's your switch in, right?
Yo, Aaron.
I love the Aron meme pick. That is
And baby
best,
Aaron.
Alright, so there's one thing that people are going to really struggle to find versus Alexa. It's switch-ins. Like,
Yes, definitely.
a lot of her mons have very, very limited switch-ins. Tyranitar has really good coverage. Starmie really punishes switching with Analytic. Volcarona can sweep if you catch a switch. Zygarde's 1,000 Arrows is almost unresisted. And Mamoswine is Ice Ground Stab. That's really hard to switch into. Only water bug types can switch into that.
Yeah.
And even then, they get dropped by Freeze Dry.
Let's talk about one thing. It's a min-max team. Let's put it that way. It's definitely
It is a min-max team.
Hugely min-max. And you know exactly what 5 monsters she's going to bring every game.
And I find like she's like I feel like the only reason why she drafted Aaron was because of Johnny. Like legit, like that's the only reason why she would have ever picked that. And dealing with fear mons in general is so dumb because like if you don't prep for it, it could literally take out like just by being stupid.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
So one thing I see that's essential to beat her is hazards. If you can keep up hazards versus her, that's like
you're set.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
definitely.
rocks are essential.
She only has one rock weakness.
Yeah, I feel like just you're right, Yellow. Like hazards so good against her. Any hazard removal besides Storm. And like any like spikes and toxic spikes are so good against this team.
Yeah.
Fantastic, but like if she can't get rid of those spikes or toxic spikes in time, then it's gonna be very hard for her to deal with them.
Yeah, she doesn't really have an earthquake switch in either at all. Like,
she lacks ground resist.
I mean, like technically Go-Go's her earthquake switch in, you know?
Right. And I could see it being used. I don't know much about Go-Go, but it's probably
decent. It's like it's kind of like a very weak version of Bulu. You know that? Like it's just very weak version of it. Like it's I don't know. It gets bulk up and all that. Like it's kind of the same thing, but
it's funny. The more I look at it, like the less I like this team. But I still think it's a solid team, just because like Tyranitar, Mamoswine, Zygarde, Bulk, those are just scary mons.
So the team is very scary offensively, but defensively it is lacking a lot. For example, she really lacks ground resist, like a very sturdy ground resist. Another thing that really concerns me is the lack of an actual steel type, especially when Lele was drafted. Like Aaron is not a thick steel type. It's an L3 mon. It's not gonna eat psychics.
No.
So that's a big concern. She lacks psychic switch-ins.
It'll probably be level 1.
Ground resist switch-ins.
Yeah, it's a level 1, right? They're just kind of for the memes.
Yeah. If I were to give it a letter grade, I wouldn't go any higher than B-. Although she has very strong offensive power, she lacks ways to keep momentum, and she has very crippling defensive weaknesses. So I would actually give this a C+.
Well, I don't like min-max teams. I don't think they're good. I would give it a B- at most, honestly. I've played min-max teams, and they're very boring to play, but they also have very glaring weaknesses in that it's super easy to prep for them. And that takes away a lot of what makes draft harder to play, I guess. If that makes sense.
Right.
All right, Johnny's team. Let's take a look. He went with the Kieran B pick and Pinsir Mega. That's awesome. I heard a lot of crap about Tapu Fini on draft day, so I want to hear what you guys think about Tapu Fini and the team in general.
Okay, first of all, I think Tapu Fini's garbage. Just get that out there, okay? Before we go any further.
That's a great analysis, Oliver. Here's what I think about Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is a mon that when you hear the words Fini, you think of Water Fairy and you think of Defog.
Yeah.
But what people forget is that it has a lot of variety in that role. For example, you don't know if it's going to bring Dual Stab or if it's going to bring Nature's Madness and Taunt. Very cool option is Nature's Madness, Taunt, and Brine, because Brine's power doubles when you cut half their HP.
True.
That's a cool option. It can also bring Whirlpool and trap things. This is something people don't realize Feeny can do. It can trap things and beat them with Nature's Madness Taunts. Another cool thing it has is Calm Mind, and I know it doesn't have the recovery, but once it gets going, it can take a few kills with Calm Mind boost, being really fat. Also gets Haze. If you make it your Z captain for whatever reason, Z Haze heals it to full.
Yeah, Z Haze is pretty cool. One thing I do want to point out is Misty Terrain, which is really good, especially when he has Pinsir. That prevents burns on that thing, right? And
only when it's not Mega Evolved.
Right, true. Okay, forgot about that.
But that is definitely a good tech. I actually used to run this against all teams to break them because they couldn't burn it with Sableye. Once Pinsir gets enough boost under its belt, Skarmory just doesn't hold up.
Yeah. I just want to keep on talking about Pinsir. I love that mon to death. It is so good.
I call it the game changer because it's like since it can Mega Evolve with Quick Attack, well, I guess that's a Gen 6 thing because now it gets its speed right away. But I don't know. I just feel like whenever it comes onto the field, it can just change the game immediately with Aerialate return. It's just so powerful.
So a thing holding this team back would be sturdy hazard removal. I know Feeny's very consistent. I would call it the most consistent hazard remover, but it's also the easiest to wear down because it has no access to recovery that doesn't take too much from your team. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. It's very easy to remove its recovery, and it still takes decent chunks from earthquakes and stuff you'd want to pivot into. Most rock setters are ground type, and it will take 30 to 40 from earthquakes, even if it heals it off with leftovers.
It's just not as bulky as you hope it will be. Is
exactly
how I like to think about it. Yes, it's bulky, but it's just not as bulky as you want it to be.
Especially when he has 4 weaknesses to rocks.
Yeah, and especially one huge one in Pinsir. As a 4 times weakness. Okay. One last thing about this is Vulpix. I love it.
Yes, I was about to point Vulpix out.
I am so happy he drafted this. It gives him, 3 turns of Aurora Veil. And theoretically, you can give that 3 turns of Aurora Veil to Pinsir or Kyurem. And that just turns them into an absolute sweeping machine.
It could be more, couldn't it? Why wouldn't it run Light Clay? Or does that not work with Aurora?
It works, but it dies to everything.
Oh, right. You need Sash with it, I would imagine.
It's either Sash or Scarf.
A couple of issues I have with this team, aside from, the hazard removal is a big thing. He's very weak to rocks. Another thing is his lack of a non-exploitable steel type in the Lele conference. Sure, Probopass is steel type on paper, but it's rock steel. It's going to drop to ground moves. It's going to drop to fighting moves.
I love how Aabrar calls the conferences by the Lele conference, the Coco conference.
Because Lele is a really big threat. When you see someone draft a Lele, you need a sturdy steel type, or it's going to click Psychic 6 times and beat you.
Yeah. Yes, Psychic just sweeps through this team, right? Where is
he lacks a lot of defensive synergy.
Yeah. You know what this team reminds me of? If you remember Danny's team in Season 6. It's just dumb wall breakers, but there wasn't too much synergy between the members, if that makes sense.
He also lacks momentum. He has Rotom Heat, but he has nothing to complete that full turn core, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. So
I would give this team a C because of very crippling weaknesses. There is some really powerhouse threats like Kyurem Black and Pinsir, but the other roles he tried to fill out are not very consistent. So that's what holds back this team significantly, and he has really exploitable defensive pulls. So I would give this team a C.
So I wouldn't go that far, but give it a B minus. It's good, but okay, I don't think it's good, but it's B minus. It just feels like he just put 2 huge wall breakers and 1 hazard removal, and was like, yeah, that's a good team. I'm done here. No offense to the guy, but that's just how I see it.
Man, yeah, and he also drafted Ditto, but they took it away from him. I feel bad. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's a huge feels bad moment.
I remember we were joking. Michelle actually this season was no memes and drafted an incredible team, I think, or a really good team. Like I like Honk, Slowbro, Hydreigon, and Nidoking. I think Nidoking's really underrated. But it's actually surprisingly like not low tier, but it's not like
There's no
the
S tier
power
threat,
level. Yeah,
right?
there's
No
no
S
S
tier, sure.
tiers. There's no S tiers, and
Yeah.
like not even a lot of A mons either.
For Michelle, she passed me your list, and the first thing I asked her, like when I saw this list, was, "Where is your S tier?"
Yeah.
There was no S tier. She told me she wanted her first round pick to be Conkeldurr, no matter what. Like no matter what, she wanted Conkeldurr first round. And you know what? I didn't believe at first. Like I did not believe in her draft plan. She had no Steel type. I threw in a Scavalier for her. But then I started realizing all the different synergies. Being Psychic Dark, an offensive core, but then she has really good resistances with Slowbro Hydreigon. She actually wanted Weavile, but I thought Hydreigon was perfect glue. Gave momentum with U-turn,
Yeah.
and was a strong wall breaker. And amazing for Slowbro. She wanted a good spinner, and she got a really offensive one in Blastoise. And then she got wall breakers like Nidoking, Scavalier, a pivot in Jolteon.
Honestly, I don't know if she needed it. Like,
Her Trick Room.
I don't think she needed like a really good spinner. I think her team doesn't really care too much about rocks.
No. But like,
It's always
maybe
good
people,
to have it.
maybe people just don't like playing versus Hazard. I hate playing.
Well, a
versus
big thing that
Hazard.
would hurt her would be T-Spikes.
Yeah, T-Spikes.
Slowbro really hates
it.
being toxic.
But he has Nidoking. She has Nidoking, which absorbs T-Spikes.
That is true.
So
Well, that's fine. Having good hazard control is never a bad thing. She has really strong hazard control.
yeah. But
I
along
also-
the lines of Spikes though, I think Spikes just destroys this team kinda. If you can get up all 3 layers, and if you
I
can
can
spin
destroy a
block,
lot of teams.
yeah. But like especially hers, because like she has like what one levitating mon, which is Hydreigon, and I don't count Noctowl because it's completely
Excuse me? Hello?
I was gonna say, I think other than Noctowl, like the other 8 mons are actually like definitely usable, like very usable.
Yeah.
So like
Definitely.
that's like a lot of people like maybe their last 2 picks like very marginally in niche situations are usable, but I think like Pyroar, it's always good to have a fire type, and Jolteon is a good offensive electric type. I think she'll be using all 8 of these mons pretty
Yeah,
consistently.
definitely. They all play off of each other very well. Especially look at Pyroar's speed stat; it's pretty good. It's got pretty good special attack
at
too.
the end.
Yeah, I like her draft a lot.
Like Trick Room is so lethal with this team. Like Slowbro plus Conkeldurr or like a Scavalier. Like
even
it's
Blastoise
actually
can be
lethal.
under. Yeah, could you imagine like modest Blastoise max special attack hitting
Oh
under
my
this?
God, yeah, that's
Hits
crazy.
like a truck. Overall for grading, I'd give it like high B, low A. I think.
I don't see anything exploitable with this team. Like she has speed control in good Scarpers with Hydreigon, and Jolteon has a really nice speed tier. She has really nice resists and immunities to whatever would normally break her cores, like good electric resist and immunities. Very strong offensive, like incredible offensive synergy, and she has Volt Turn momentum. I would overall give this draft an A- in my opinion. There's nothing too exploitable with this team.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like I didn't believe like there's no S tier, but this is an incredible draft, synergy wise and everything. This is an A- draft to me.
Nice.
I think this team can make top 8 if they played properly.
I think so too.
All right.
Alrighty.
Karnvir, no.
Karnvir.
Oh wait, I was about to say no Garchomp, but he did
Of
get
course he has Garchomp.
Like I thought someone said that he wasn't taking Garchomp. I guess that was when he took Heatran. Maybe someone said
Yeah, he took Heatran first round. I was like, wait, that's not Garchomp?
Yeah, like okay, but he did get it in the end. I'll never not say good things about Togekiss. And with Garchomp and Heatran, I like that core.
Nice Fairy Dragon Steel.
Yeah, classic Fairy Dragon Steel. I know he as a player likes to go for cores because his season 6 draft was all cores, and same with season 7.
What about that crab Pokemon Aabrar?
Oh, you're asking me about OU's daddy, Crawdaddy?
Crawdaddy?
Yeah, Crawdaddy. That thing, adaptability, Crab Hammer, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance. Aqua Jet
Knock
knockoff.
off.
He has the area
Oh.
dose too with Sticky Web. Maybe
Yes.
set up for
He got
Crawdon.
sticky webs and a Crawdon. Like, oh.
Sticky.
Yeah, he has really
Crawdon
nice
makes me
offensive
sticky.
synergy.
What?
He has nice offensive synergy
Yeah.
between Garchomp and Crawdon. Garchomp in particular can lure so much that it can pave the way for something like Togekiss, or I could see his main sweeper being Garchomp or Crawdon. Like these two working in tandem so well.
Let's not forget about Heatran either. Heatran can easily trap a lot of threats for Garchomp.
Yeah. Magma Storm gained a lot of popularity with Gen 7. Was it a big thing in Gen 6?
It was a thing. I don't know if it was big, but it was definitely an option. But
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Magma Storm is now considered almost mandatory on Heatran.
Yeah,
Just because of how good the move is.
It's such a good stall breaker.
Yeah.
Right?
He has such a good
Yeah.
good teams with Z-Move Garchomp, Heatran, and Crawdon. Like, he has incredible wall and stall breaking potential.
Yeah. Let's not talk. Okay, that's one more thing. Alola Mola.
Extra thick. He got that wish support, which his team really appreciates.
Yeah, I was gonna say wish support for stuff like Heatran, Garchomp. Oh man, especially since Garchomp and Heatran are both very thick to begin with.
Yeah, they really appreciate that recovery.
Do any of you guys know about Roserade? I'm not too familiar with like what it's good at.
Spikes.
Technician, it empowers.
Yeah, it's mostly used as like a strong spike setter, right?
It has that too. It can be an offensive spike setter. Really cool defensive typing and grass poison. That always makes him on so much better.
Yeah. Also, ultimate Tapu Bulu counter XD.
Oh my god. When he missed that Zen headbutt and then Rosary started claiming souls, I was crying.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sunkern. Interesting.
Well, Sunkern's a meme.
I'll never believe. It's only a meme.
Of course.
And it's not going to beat any Heatrans because he has Heatran.
Anti-synergy.
Right. That is.
And one last thing I want to talk about is Excelgor.
Yeah.
Because it's so fast. You can avoid so many taunts, and it's just... if you run it, you can almost guarantee 2 layers of spikes every game.
Yeah. Or like 1 layer and then a final gambit to take out something.
Yeah. It's just genuinely good, I think.
It's pretty
good. He's a lot of good hazard setters. Like suicide hazard setters.
I lost to Excelgor last season. Okay, letter grades. What do you guys think?
Give it a high B, honestly.
Yeah, B+ in my opinion. It's very sturdy as a team, but it also has good offensive synergy. Nothing in particular stands out, however. Like the team doesn't stand out in any particular way. It's like very well balanced in its strengths. So it's a good draft. It's not stellar, but it's a very sound and good draft. So I give it a B+.
You don't think it's at least as good as Michelle's?
I think Michelle's team was better.
Okay. What about you?
I think it's on par with Michelle's, honestly.
Okay.
I think they do different things, like those 2 drafts, but I think I give it a high B. It's not very explodable. It just seems like an average draft, if that makes sense. It's not too good, not too bad either.
Yeah, it's like a good draft, but nothing like stellar that super stands out about it. It's a good draft.
Yeah.
Ramanan is always like the sleeper in every playoff, I feel like, and
that was a clean team.
Yeah,
he's placed top 4.
Yeah, like he's really good, and Weevil and Latios, fast, offensive mons. I love it.
He completed a Fairy Dragon Steel Core in 2 mons, Klefki and Latios. Super clean.
I feel like it drops off after Klefki though, pretty significantly.
But then you get to Gyarados.
Yeah, Gyarados is just amazing.
Yeah.
He has Fairy Dragon Steel.
Yeah.
He has Fire, Water, Grass.
Yeah, technically Fire, Water, Grass, yeah. Actually, not even technically.
He does. He has the camera.
He's got Fire, Dark, Fighting, Dark, Psychic as well. 3 type cores.
He has all 3 type cores, which is super clean.
I don't believe in the Hitmons, personally.
Pivots with Klefki, Mesprit.
Hitmon is sick. Look at his base attack.
It's actually pretty high.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
There's
not actually a lot to say about this team.
Alright, then go ahead.
Solid, I think.
Yeah, it's a very solid team. Delmize, I think, is very slept on mon in draft. It has base 131 attack, and good typing, and rapid spin, and 3 stabs.
Just look at his attack stat, though. His
Yeah,
attack stat just
131.
just all of his mons. His average attack
Oh.
stat is through the roof.
Yeah.
It's actually the best in draft. It's ranked 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's your Skarmory now?
It loses the camera. Oh wait, it's normal camera up though, so
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know
fine.
about
Mega camera is
Check
fine.
Magirna, XD.
XD, yeah. I don't know. I feel like his special attackers. He has like Latios. That's it. What are you gonna do with a strong fairy type against that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really have a good special attack. So like it's very unbalanced in terms of hitting from physical or special side. But
Yeah.
you know, when you run hyper offense or like very offensive teams, you often don't care because you want to run through those checks, and then other breakers and sweepers run through the team. So I can see a good concept there. He would appreciate like a second or even a third special attacker. I guess he has Mesprit, but like it doesn't hit hard enough. Base 95, I believe.
105.
105.
Oh, 105. It's all right.
It's Matt IMO. It's nothing too good, but nothing too bad either.
I like Mesprit and Uxie because like I feel like in draft, just these mons that otherwise would not be used on ladders are pretty good.
Right.
Just because like the better version's more expensive and it's probably going to be taken. And like
Right.
the only reason Mesprit isn't used to begin with is probably because Mew exists and
Yes.
Azelf exists and whatnot, Cresselia. So like I think Mesprit and Uxie might be value mons. But
It's just like a budget view, right?
yeah.
Well, Mesprit's like really thick. Look at its defenses.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
All right. Overall, what do you guys want to give this a letter grade for?
I'll venture to an A minus.
Oh.
It's really high. Do you think it's on par with like stuff like Michelle?
Actually, yeah. I would say so.
It's really
got all
hard to
three,
wall.
It's got all 3 type cores and Klefki. I hate Klefki.
That is the assist queen of draft. Got 27 assists last season.
Wow.
Yeah. Klefki's such a pain to play versus. Definitely say, yeah, I would say A minus. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but
I don't think it's on par with things like Ethan and Michelle's team. It's a strong draft. I would give it a B plus, just because it's a very good draft. I would say it's a bit better than Karnvir's in my opinion. You know what? I'd say they're about on par, to be honest. They're about on par with each other. So,
okay.
Yeah, like B plus.
All right. Laws. He's an OG. He's been in every season. And Scizor is his signature mon. And he went with base Scizor. And we were actually talking about base Scizor versus Mega Scizor before we started recording. I'm an advocate for base Scizor, but Aabrar says Mega Scizor is way better. Which, I mean, it is objectively, but in a draft setting,
like value-wise, it's better.
Yeah, I think it's better value-wise. But he has Toxic X. That's all that matters.
He had no other Mega.
Yeah, why didn't he get Mega?
Oh, he didn't get a Mega. Oh.
And he still had to draft Haunter, so what is he doing?
Right off the bat, you see Scizor, like, literally a mon that resists or is neutral to everything except fire. And then you have Toxapex, which is like such a sturdy fire resist that it even stops Charizard Y cold. So that's an insane defensive type synergy core.
Great.
And then he has Hoopa U. So right off the bat, in 3 picks, he got strong defensive backbone and then U-turn plus wall breaker.
Yeah,
which is like incredible. And a big problem with Hoopa U is people just spamming U-turn. But right off the bat, he has 2 really good bug resists. With his first 3 picks, they're like super stellar.
I definitely
and then he has Flygon to complete like the momentum core with Scizor, and also gives him Defog. Does Flygon get Stealth Rocks?
No, but I guess Defog. Wait. What? Wait, give me a sec.
Well, he still has a Hazard Setter and Toxapex, so that's okay. Raikou also gives him more momentum. Oh my god. I see.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get Stealth Rocks. I like this team a lot.
Scizor, Flygon, Raikou. That's a ton of momentum, and he has the to back it up.
I don't like Flygon. I'm calling you out, Kevin. I don't think it's good. Like, I think it's a bad mon personally, but the rest of his
Flygon's
team
okay.
is scary. Like even Raikou is really good, and I think Hoopa U is on par with Kirim Black in terms of
Did
like.
Martin just say Raiku's really good?
Hey, I wanted to trade for it, but no, actually, it's awful. It's the worst draft mon, worst value. Never take it, please.
Complete garbage.
If there's
It
one
beats
thing you
Mammoth
learn
though.
from this analysis video is never draft Raikou and always draft Mamoswine.
No, you should draft Raikou if you want to beat Mamoswine, because it beats the 1v1. Anyway, he has Sun support, which is kind of interesting. I don't see why Torkoal fits in with the rest of them. I don't really see a reason to draft Torkoal. It
Get stealth rocks, I think.
gets rocks and it can spin, but the Sun support doesn't really help him.
Yeah. One thing,
Very
I
good pick.
just want to talk about Hoopa.
Yeah.
It's such a devastating wall breaker.
Mhm.
Nothing switches into it at all.
Definitely.
It's just
Yeah,
all
nothing
around
reliable
amazing.
switches in.
It's like its downside is it baits U-turn, but I feel like he just has Scizor and Toxapex to regain momentum at any point. Really, like it's tough.
Yeah.
Also, his low tiers don't really fit in with the rest of the team. They're kind of just like memes.
Yeah,
like Haunter and Vespiquen.
But Swellow's good.
Swellow's good. I just, after his first like 3 to 4 picks, I guess like his first within his first 5 picks, 4 of them meshed together really well, and then like Flygon, Torkoal, Swellow, like it didn't really fit in with the rest, you know. Like he doesn't have a good Scarfer. Like Hoopa U, to run it as a Scarfer. Like you can, but it has better sets.
I do not like Hoopa U as a Scarfer. I think his best set is Specs or Band.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he kind of lacks speed control. Like he has Scizor to spam priority. He hit the higher speed tiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I guess unless he makes a Z Captain Hoopa U and then he runs Z Trick or Z Snatch, double speed.
But no, I'm not a fan of that either. Honestly, actually, I'd give a Z Captain a Flygon TB.
What about Raikou? Can it be a Z Captain?
It would give it good coverage, but like I think it's best used on something like Hoopa Unbound.
Yeah.
Like I generally don't like Z moves on Hoopa, but
overall, I would give his draft a B. He lacks sturdy resist to things that steel types are normally supposed to resist, because Scizor can't be as bulky as like its mega counterpart.
Right.
It's only like 70, 100, 80 bulk. It's not that bulky. So he doesn't have a sturdy steel type to give him those nice resistances. Like Toxapex is bulky, but he doesn't have a bulky steel type. So that's one thing. He lacks a lot of speed control. He relies on Scizor Bullet Punch a lot. And he might end up making Hoopa use Scarf a lot because he kind of has to.
Yeah.
But so that kind of detracts from his really strong wall breaker. Overall I'd give it a B, because after the first 4 picks, it kind of just felt meshed together and didn't really fit.
You know what's really feels bad about this draft, in my opinion, is Torkoal is 40 points, and he really did not need that. Like he could have dropped that to a D+ of some kind.
He could consider trading it in.
Yeah, I would trade that in. Well, basically the point I'm trying to make is he could have had Scizor Mega. Like he could have if he didn't get that Torkoal. I really don't agree with the Torkoal pick, but maybe he wanted a spinner or I don't know.
I have a feeling he only picked Torkoal because it's one of like the only D- C+ tiers that is fire type, and he wanted a fire type.
Yeah, but if he trades in Torkoal, he actually doesn't have a Stealth Rock setter. But yeah, we should move on to Ryan. Last but not least, let's see, it's loading here.
Okay,
clean squad.
Oh yes, the wheel pick was actually very threatening. Victini Azumarill, like I remember hearing that and I was like, oh my god, I hate fire types.
That's wall breaker to the max.
Fire types in draft are the absolute worst to plan against, in my opinion.
Victini's such a monster to play versus.
Yeah.
We all know what V stands for.
No.
Best move in the game, V create.
Searing Thought.
V is for V create.
I thought something funnier was gonna come next. That's just painful and sad. I hate it.
And he has a Azumarill, so you can run it as a band or a Z Captain with Z Belly Drum.
Or
So
both.
that's really cool. Fire, water, wall breaking core.
Band
Yeah.
with
Doesn't have a
belly
grass
drum.
wall breaker though.
Capture.
Okay. No.
That's more of a wall breaker than a defensive mon, because doesn't it run Swords Dance usually?
Yeah. That's 115 offensive stats. So I guess, but like, if you had a really powerful grass type, can you imagine how scary this draft would be?
Yeah. That fire, water, grass core of breaking. That would be insane.
He doesn't have a mega. Do you think that's a mistake?
Not really. I don't think every team needs a mega. Like, would you rather pick up
I mean, what would he make as mega? Maybe a Charizard?
I don't think so.
Charizard X plus a Azumarill would have been crazy.
I don't know about. I'm not a huge fan of Magnezone. Like, I had it before and it didn't work for me, but it does work for fairies like Azumarill to trap steel types and help Azumarill sweep with belly drum maybe. But
honestly,
the thing with draft is that Magnezone functions actually quite differently from how it does in normal competitive play. Because people always bring Shell to not be trapped. So it actually functions as a wall breaker usually with like analytics, substitute, hiding behind substitute to just hit things repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So I think he has really, really good offensive synergy between Victini, Azumarill, and Magnezone. He also has really good volt turn between Magnezone and Crobat.
Yeah. And Mienshao.
These two have very good synergy, like quad resisting fighting and being a ground immunity.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a really good volt turn core. And then if you want Mienshao for even more momentum. Although I'm not a fan of Mienshao in draft because everyone preps for its high jump kick.
Or you can miss high jump kick. XD. My biggest problem is that I don't see how Magnezone slots into this team too much. Like, I'd run Magnezone like a fly spam core, but I'm not too big of a fan of Magnezone.
He has knockoff users. That's the thing. Sweet Mienshao, and I think Cacturne gets knockoff.
Yeah.
Azumarill gets it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has 3 knockoff users and Magnezone. So I think Magnezone fits in very well, to be honest. And it actually puts in work because it can stop things like Skarmory for Mienshao or like Ferrothorn or something like that for Azumarill.
I don't think he has problems with those mons. That's the thing.
Well, it's one thing to have an offensive answer, but it's another thing to lure and stop it, right? Because if he's keeping it safe the whole game, your Azumarill won't sweep until very, very late. So he has ways to knock off items and trap. So I think that's really good. Licky, really good meme pick, but it actually fits in very well as an unpredictable wall breaker. Like nothing really goes to waste except like Swinub.
Yeah, well, Swinub's just
I was like,
memes.
what is that?
Swinub gets Endeavor plus Focus Sash. That's probably what he's thinking.
It's like just draft it to Ocean then.
What about Vanillux? Does it do anything?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like Stab Lizard.
Right. Oh, and
Snow Warning, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Like, never misses. It's good.
Yeah. It's an interesting wall breaker. Ice is a rather difficult type to deal with in draft. It's a good offensive type.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so nothing really goes to waste in his draft, and I think that's really good. He hits all sorts of speed tiers, and he has priority to back it up. He can run like Regenerator Mienshao with Azumarill, so he has Fake Out plus Aqua Jet. He can run Scarf Victini. He has really fast mons in Crobat.
Yeah, I think Crobat's a really good mon, like value mon. I think it's B plus or B. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better drafts in my opinion. I would give this an A-.
Nice.
I personally disagree. I'd say B plus though. It's close, but like.
I know you said it hits multiple speed tiers, but I do think it's kind of slow because like unless you're an offensive Crobat, like the speed isn't that necessary, and Mienshao is only really fast mon. I feel
he has double priority. And he has good Scarfers. Like, he can run Scarf Magnezone, Scarf Victini, Scarf Mienshao. I think he has 3 good potential Scarfers. Yeah. And he has good breakers, too, like Victini, Azumarill. Even Banded Crobat's a thing. Licky can run, like, Z Explosion, or, like, not Z Explosion, but, like, just Explosion and, like, coverage.
Yeah.
So sweepers. He has momentum. He has hazards.
Does he?
Does he?
Does
no.
No.
Gastrodon gets stealth rocks.
Gastrodon doesn't get rocks.
It doesn't.
It doesn't get
Wait,
rocks.
what? Okay, does he just not have hazards then? Huh.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
might
it
not.
does.
Like hazards are the one thing holding
Actually,
it back from being.
Captain gets spikes, I believe, but that might be it.
But he doesn't have a rock setter.
No.
Unless
and-
Swinub gets stealth rock.
maybe
That's
that's
why
why
not.
he drafted it. It's possible.
Yeah, maybe.
What about Licky Licky? Does he get rocks? I know Chansey does, but
Give me a sec. Stealth rock. No, it doesn't.
well, on that note, that's everyone's teams in Conference 1/B. I don't know what to call it.
Conference B.
Conference 1,
B.
guys. It's Conference 1.
Conference 1. Well, what do the mods call it? Because like, surely the mods are not going to be calling it B.
We refer to it
B.
as 1 and 2, but to the rest of society, it's B and B.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
B&B is like a company, isn't it? And oh, by the way, we lost Steve like a long time ago. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I don't know where he went.
We'll probably be recording Conference 2, I don't know, tomorrow, but yeah, like this was a lot of fun and good analysis, and I hope everyone watches it. And,
I really recommend watching it. It's very informative.
Yeah.
Give you some ways to see how to exploit other people's drafts. If you're ever stuck out a team build against them, well, now you have an idea of the strengths and weaknesses here.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Nice, see you.